give an example of how I make the link between emotion and the body. I'm combining what I know about and practice from the field of psychodrama and somatics. The concept here is to externalize what is felt on the inside, which comes from psychodrama, connecting that from body-led modalities. It is to explore the impact of what is in the current and how that affects us. And then in extending that exploration further, I take learnings from that I'm getting more into, which is referred to often as developmental somatics, which is to explore how else to experiment with it or what else can be done with it physically before you then explore that in terms of mapping it back to the situation at hand. So having offered this sort of conceptual framework, let me share how it could actually happen in session. Let's say I am really noticing in myself in this week that I felt very confused. And as I start to share more about the confusion, I'm going to invite myself as the client here to pay attention to the qualities of this confusion as it emerges in my body now. And I notice that it emerges in the way I am speaking in this moment, which feels like very extended sort of texture, like every word seems to be pulled, and then the next word emerges, and there's this sort of tensing I'm noticing in my voice. I'm also noticing that I am really lifting off from the chair, and let's say these are some of the qualities I notice. And then let me have a sense of how having attention to them now, if what impacts does that have in this moment. Perhaps one of the things I immediately notice is that my feet are now well connected to the floor beneath me, and I'm just going to take a moment here and extending in this place of feeling resourced through the feet on the floor. Let me bring in psychodrama to concretize or externalize this experience of feeling confused. And you can't see it here, but I have a few props here, including some scarves and colors and textures. And immediately I feel like picking up this quite a heavy sort of weighted thing as the experience of confusion. And I'm just going to begin by noticing just what it feels like to hold it in this way, as it feels like I hold it in life. I notice immediately that I am not breathing very well, and I'm almost coming in and contracting my upper body. I also notice the tension of this weight that I carry on my elbow and my wrist. I notice how still I have to be to hold this in this particular way. I guess if I extend that back to life and this experience of confusion, that makes sense that I have to become very still and I have to gather myself so I don't appear to people outside that I am exploring something or I'm unsure or unaware. And so this could then be extended further, and we could maybe move it to another modality from the expressive sort of range, and then bringing back to the aspect of experimenting, which I spoke to about before. Let's say I want to explore and experiment with other ways to hold confusion. So here I'm trying to not hold it in my hands, but like closer to my chest. And then let's see how that feels. And this, let's imagine that I explored a few other ways here. And then, or when I put it on my stomach, that really pushes against and makes me even more uncomfortable. And so here I'm like imagining holding it in this way, as an embrace, and noticing that this quality of confusion now is interestingly just resting on my belly, which allows it to sit quite securely. And in this way of holding it, I also noticed that I'm not putting any strain. I could even imagine myself walking in this way of holding, and that should feel pretty all right. And so here I could again go back to, just exploring how that felt in the beginning and how this feels now, and this could be a complete exploration by itself. But let's say that as a client, I feel really comfortable in just landing here, and this doesn't necessarily mean that I've solved it or I've found a way to circumvent confusion. I've just learned how to hold it in a way that feels more containable and secure to me. And then I could ask myself, like, what does that mean? How could I translate that to life? And find a way, for example, next time I experience confusion, I could really be gentle with myself, or I could be patient in that time that it takes as I find my way. So I guess a few other ways that one could extend that, and this could be the end of this particular exploration. Everything that we've done today is actually led through the processes of the body, and it's only at the end that we integrate in bringing our thinking and our planning and our executive functioning and our ability to reflect. And one of the things you notice as well is that when we play with something, or we are a bit more experimental, not only does it allow our creativity to flow, but it also allows us to feel more regulated in holding the big emotions that otherwise can feel quite challenging. So I hope this exploration of an idea of what may happen in session is useful. I get a lot of questions of this kind, and so I thought it's good for me to give a very specific example. I hope you subscribe to my work, and if you'd like to share what it is that you like me to explore for the next time,